Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Get my sweatshirt and more at my store. Support my shop at amandalandexports.com. Chocolate. Just greedy. This is my latest drop. How black am I gonna have to get? Okay. We've got Sister Soldier, Fred Hampton, June Jordan, Asada Shakur, Malcolm X, Kathleen Cleaver, Mamiya Abu Jamal. Now, the sweatshirt is available as well as the notebooks. 25 people will get notebooks with spinners. Yeah. You're going to get notebooks with spinners. And so, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm here putting the spinners on the notebooks. You know, people often ask me, so like, what do you do then? What do you do? And I'm like, I think, I inspire, I decolonize, I philosophize, and I make shit that keeps us happy and lifted in the process of constantly being broken down. Okay? So, the Grammys. You know, here's the thing. Like, at a certain point, I'm just like, when do we actually... when do we actually say, like, hey, this ain't it? Right? Like, when do we do that? Cause I'm just like seeing people at the Grammys talking about fuck ICE. Like, what? Like, I just think that's such a farce. I just think all of this is just like, I need y'all to also understand though that like, as much as I think the NFL, as much as the NFL is complete trash, the fact that Benito is the one performing does have a certain cachet to it. Just in the time that we're in. But people are like, oh, you know, he won best, album of the year. And it's like, well, yes, because he's about to do the Grammys. I mean, he's about to do the football. This is all a ruse. Yay! Thank you, busybody. This is all a ruse. So, like, of course he would be winning. Oh, that's what's up. Thank you, love. The woman talking about Atlanta. It's all tied together. And I know that, like, at this point, folks may be still like, oh my God, Amanda's always talking. But, like, when you talk about someone, like, being ahead of their time, this is the time that they're talking about. That's what I want y'all to take away from a lot of what I'm saying. This is the time when people say they're ahead of their time. This is the time. This is the time. Come on. You could have answered that question with a simple Google. Y'all just be wanting to ask me things. Did you play on the show My Brother and Me? Knowing full well it would take you 2 seconds to answer that on your own. 1. I'm only making spinners for 25 of them, Aja. Thank you, Ars Clips 9. I said at the Katy Perry dinner, Trump is the modern day Hitler. People said I was nuts. People were so offended. Oh my God. And here we are. This is the time. This is the time that's ahead of their time. Mother Boomer Poet, I just shared your video about the porters. I thank you so much. I didn't know anything about that. That was such a wonderful fact to learn in this Black History Month time. So thank you for sharing that with us. So what I'm putting together right now are the bonus bundles. So you get a notebook, you get a big ass sticker, you get a magnet, and you get a button. And they come in this package. And so, yes, it is me, Amandaseales, doing the packaging. Yeah. So I don't want to hear shit. Bam. It's really nice, right? Oh, Justin, you were watching Malcolm X? They would be cool as patches. Of course, you naming the thing I don't have. Oh, man. But the good thing is that that's something I can make for the future, you know, because I always bring things back. So this design originated from my 2019 comedy special, How Black Am I Gonna Have to Get? I be knowing. And in that special, I talk about how anybody who works in corporate, any Black people that work in corporate, know that every day they find themselves asking, how Black am I gonna have to get? Because you just find yourself on a regular basis faced with absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And then you're faced with asking, like, is this the revolution today? Am I about to have a revolution today? And so that's what this is all about. How Black am I going to get? And so at the beginning, you'll hear a roulette because it's a gamble. Okay? It is a gamble. So that's what How Black Am I Gonna Have to Get is all about. Check it out. How black am I gonna have to get? How black am I have to get? Like right now, we are I would say Fred Hampton Black. We're Chairman Fred Hampton Black today. Right now. Oh. New technique. We're Chairman Fred Hampton Black because Fred Hampton was all about... Oh, by the way, I produced that. I think you're going to get a mixtape from me soon. Because I've been having songs pop in my head, and I found an engineer to mix the music down, and I came up with a title for the mixtape. So like once I do all of that, it's like, dang, I guess I gotta actually do the daggone thing then, don't I? So y'all gonna get a mixtape, I think. Y'all about to get a mixtape. I love innovation. I figured this out. It only took me 8 notebooks, but I figured out how to do it. Yeah. You said it could be an anthem like Funky Town? Oh my God. That's a very big honor. Thank you. How black am I gonna have to get? Oh my God. Why are you asking me about Nicki Minaj today? Who cares? I did an entire special video about this. You know what I'm going to start doing? When y'all ask me, what do you think? I'm going to ask me, what do you think I think? Because I want to know what y'all think. When y'all ask me questions like that, that's when I'll be wanting to know, like, well, what do you think I think? What's going down in Bushwick? What's happening in Bushwick? The Barbs, please. Everybody got to stop with the celebrity culture nonsense. Just cut it out. All of that's got to stop. Being a Barb and a this and a Navy and da-da-da-da. Like, even the SEAL squad, I'm like, that's a squad of y'all. What do I think of Zoran's mom in the Epstein files? So have we had it proven that it wasn't AI? Just so everybody knows, you can get your How Black Am I Gonna Have to Get goodies. Support your girl. Link is at the bottom. When are we going back to Monk Morris? I can't wait to see your interview with Tasha K. I didn't really like that interview. You know, when you're in an interview and then you watch it back, are kind of like two different experiences. Are not kind of. They are two different experiences. Because you know, you're just really like going with the flow. And then when you watch it back, you're like, why was that the flow? You know? Tasha K was very lovely. But once we sat down to do the interview, it didn't reflect what I really wanted to talk about. Because it was really like asking me about like, why am I like this and why am I like that? Versus what I came there to talk about, which is to share my knowledge and information on things. Which is what I like, why I like doing interviews with Funky Dineva. Because he'll really be like, okay, so what are your thoughts on Iran? You know, so what does this mean? You know, like he'll ask me like very, very specific questions that his audience is looking to get more insight into. And I just really appreciate that, because then it doesn't feel like we're here to gossip versus, you know, we're here to inform, because that's really what I'm about. Oh, Monet Exchange. I mean, Monet is a whole other lovely. But again, so I mean, it's no shade to you know, Tasha and her team. I just felt that the interview was not the best use of my voice and my brain. You know what? Someone said, well, all she does is gossip. And I just feel like, okay, but if someone wants to, you know, change, let's do it. So that's, you know, that's really what I'm on. But, you know, I saw the interview that Kevin Gates did with Shannon Sharp. Shout out to that man, Kevin Gates. I mean, it's fuck Shannon Sharp every day, but shout out to that man, Kevin Gates. Also, it was really interesting, just as somebody who was treated the exact opposite on Shannon Sharp's show, to see him actually be able to respect someone's experience. And be able to give someone space to speak of their experience without doubt, without undermining it. I wouldn't say it was a great interview. Y'all be doing too much. Kevin Gates was a great guest. Kevin Gates was a great guest. I'm not talking about his politics. I don't know anything about his politics. What I know is that he sat there and he had a very poignant interview that a lot of Black men need to see. And I mean, Shannon, being, you know, the unintellectual person that he is, just couldn't even help but like Shannon Sharp being about like God and then being the person that he actually is, which is a narcissist misogynist, is so typical. Because when Kevin Gates was like, I will murk anybody that touches my kids. And when he was like, anybody that harms kids or rapes women, like all of that need to get murked. And Shannon was like, what? No. Come on now. But what about this guy? Like, please cut the performance. Cut the performance. Like, also, there is so much murdering happening in the Bible. Okay? Like, so much. So much. Cut it out. Please. I'm not baffled that Shannon Sharp has the following that he has. we live in a nation where, for some reason, being able to talk about sports has now become a legitimizer about being able to talk about literally anything, which, again, is because this is a nation that does not honor intellect or expertise. And that's how you get people like Shannon Sharp and people like Stephen A. Smith, you know, just a talking. Charles Barkley at one point was in that category, just a talking. And you're just like, but why is y'all talking? So, you know, that, and I would not feel this way if I had been treated differently, but I was not. I was treated horribly. So, but vulnerability, you know, Lord. Yeah, I like the brothers on the pivot as well. I think they're really great. I really can't think of things that I care less about than whether or not Shannon Sharp and his brother were your favorite athletes person in my comments. Someone said, we're listening to you because you talk about history and the direction culture is going in the entertainment fashion. Did I say, why are y'all listening to me? I think I may have said that. What do you want to talk about with Trevor Noah? Y'all like, can we talk about Trevor Noah? What's there to talk about? Trump is suing Trevor Noah? For what? Trump is suing Trevor Noah at the Grammys for his jokes? That's not how it works. First of all, Trevor Noah's jokes at the Grammys are owned by the Grammys. So you're suing the Grammys. These people are so wild with the suing. I know Trevor had a good laugh about that one. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When Trevor had a Caesar, whew, that was a fine man. But he never talked about the genocide, so that fineness went out the window. Oh wow, thanks, Doc. You know, at one point in time, I wanted a Pulitzer Prize. I wanted all the things, the same things that people want. I really did. I wanted all of it. A PhD, a Pulitzer Prize, all of that. This is just an accent wall. And then I learned that the Pulitzer Prize is run by Columbia. Like Columbia University that sold out its students and really went balls to the wall with being Zionist. And it was like, oh, I don't want that anymore. Seeing Kendrick at the Grammys, I'm just like, what are we doing? When really are we about something else? Like truly, when are we actually about it? The fact that y'all keep saying this dumb shit, it's going to be a long 3 years, is so mind-boggling to me. It is infuriating to hear y'all sound that stupid. Infuriating. You act as if evil is compartmentalized between voting. Between fucking elections. We just can't afford to be this stupid. We can't. No, I'm not interested in being a guest on the Native Land podcast with them cornballs. No. All of them are corny. I don't know Gillum, but from what I know, from what I've seen of him, he's corny. And he in there with them two corny broads. So no, I don't want to go on their podcast. Both of them broads owe me an actual apology. Angela Rye's version of apology was sending me a picture of herself saying, we look like sisters in this picture of me. Ma'am, that is like Tyra Banks, who on Miley Cyrus's 16th birthday had Miley Cyrus on the Tyra Banks show and gave her a picture of herself in Paris. What? And said, this is a picture of me when I was 16. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Do you understand that a producer literally like wrote that down, was like, this is what we doing. This is what we're doing. Is that Sagittarius? I don't know much about Sagittarius, but I will never ever get over that. Ever. And you know they have like a new America's Top Model, what's it called? Documentary coming out that is basically Tyra Banks being like, I did it because of you guys. This whole thing just was because of you guys. Lord, I'm so proud of my little kid. I'm so proud of it. Don't y'all love the spinner? 25 people are going to get a spinner. They're going to be just mixed in. So you might be the lucky one. You might be a lucky one. The thing about NDAs is that there's always a way around everything. I'm riding spinners. I'm riding spinners. It don't stop. I'm riding spinners. I'm riding spinners. It don't stop. You'd like to submit artwork for an exhibition. Where you see me doing an exhibition? I have not. I have not read that book. Where I'm doing an exhibition at? North Memphis. North Memphis. North Memphis. North Memphis. So you wanna be ya, player just like me ya, riding on tortillas, chopping up a Kia. North Memphis. Y'all know nothing about that. Project Dodger Missile, sucker in my drizzle. After, more after, that never do we episode. Y'all know nothing about Project Pat. Not a god dang thing. So my autism, like I take things very literally. So when people would say, you don't know nothing about that, I used to get so mad. I used to get so mad. Because I'd be like, yes, I do. Why would I be talking about it if I don't know nothing about it? Chopping up a Kia, riding on tortillas, so you wanna be a player just like me, yeah. Hey, we just got another order. Thank you. Every time you guys order, so let me just explain something to you. I am not supported by any sponsors. I'm not supported by any corporations, none of that. I am 100% supported by you all and by your support of my work. That is the 100% way that I am living in the world at this point. And I do still get some residuals from my previous work, but I am 100% fully people funded, and I'm proud. I'm so proud to say that. And so, you know, when you guys subscribe to my Patreon, which is $5, when you purchase from my store, Amandaland Exports, when you buy my book, etc., you are absolutely supporting me being able to continue to do this work. And I'm working on longer projects. And so when you guys buy shirts and, you know, buy the notebooks and you buy my books and, like I just made my show, What Would the Ancestors Say, available to be streamed on my Patreon. When you buy those things and you support those things, you allow me to be able to commit to doing like longer projects that have a bit more teeth to them. So books and music, etc. Now, right now, I also just put out an article on my Substack, and I'm going to be writing more. And my Substack is called Ethically Rude. But I'm going to be doing articles every full moon. And you can support a real one. There you go, Missile. Y'all be making me want to make full songs out of these little jingles, because y'all really be liking these jingles. Support a real one. I could really make a jingle out of that. Support a real one. My shirt says, how black am I gonna have to get? And then it gives you options. So yes, so there's always going to be offerings on full moons and new moons. So my work will be organized around the cycles of the moon. And this is because I am really dedicating myself to switching up how my life and my body interacts with the earth. I have been basically, like so many of us, I have been committed to, not committed, but I was just like everybody else, like kind of like indoctrinated to a system of living that was here and in place before I got a chance to choose. And so now I am very fortunate to be at a point in my life where I can choose. And so I am living that life. Sarah, damn, she said it would be dope to have a Views from Amandaland soundtrack. The jams. High quality white. Oh my gosh, why am I so single? Oh my gosh, I forgot that song. How did Why Am I So Single go? Maybe that's why I'm still single. Was that it? Remind me, was that it? No, small doses is not coming back. Maybe that's why I'm still single. Show your love. Why? I don't know that. I don't remember that one. Why am I so single? Why? Why? I don't remember that one. Why? I don't remember it. Dang. So many jingles. So many jingles. Niggas got me fucked up. Ooh, niggas got me fucked up. Not today, not the one. Fucked up. Ooh, yay, we have another order. Thank you. I know someone didn't just ask me what's my plan for Valentine's. You mean February 14th? When people used to say, like, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because that's a capitalist holiday, I was so indoctrinated. I was like, oh my God, just say you don't got a boo. Okay? Just say you don't got a boo. Now I'm like, I don't celebrate Valentine's. That's a capitalist holiday. All of this shit is a capitalist holiday. Thank you, little mama. I do be coming with the jangles. Jingle jangle, honey. Llama mama. Singles Awareness Day. Yeah, I got 5 cats and a dog. Like, February 14th, I'm going to be right here. Maybe I'll do something special on the Patreon, because that's a Saturday. Yay! Truly Nasha. Thank you for supporting and buying the shirt. Y'all, my How Black Are You Not Gonna Have to Get? We right in time for Black History Month, y'all. We right in time. And what you're watching me do right now is I am installing spinners on the notebooks. I'm doing this for 25 notebooks. So 25 people will just randomly be a lucky. It's like a Willy Wonka golden ticket. You know, you'll be like, oh my God, I got a spinner. We riding spinners. We riding spinners. It don't stop. We riding spinners. We riding spinners. It don't stop. Even Juneteenth is like, it's almost like they ruined it. Like, I don't want to celebrate it when y'all telling us to celebrate it. If y'all telling us to do it, I don't want to do it. Like, that's how I feel about it. Honestly, the single life is hitting. I've been to a number of psychics and tarot readers all my life, and all of them hoes told me, yeah, love is like relationships, like that's like romantic relationships. That's not going to be really your jam. I feel so honored that you tell your daughters that you want them to be as enlightened as me. Thank you. Yeah, like I want unofficial Juneteenth back. Like I don't like that now they said it's okay for us to do it. Like now they in on it and shit. Being single will absolutely liberate you. And if you have your own space, man, listen. Being single in your own crib that you can actually like decorate. The shirt is available, Vibes 2169 at my little shop, AmandalandExports.com. We riding spinners. Yay, we got another order. Thank you. We riding spinners. We riding spinners. It don't stop. We riding spinners. I'm so proud of this. I've been thinking about this for months. Months. How to get spinners on the notebooks, y'all. And with a lot of research, I figured it out. So this is the bonus bundle. So if you go to my store and get this, you're going to get a notebook. It might have a spinner, it might not. But you're also going to get the big ass sticker. You're also going to get the magnet. You're also going to get the button. We also have the lapel pin. It's a big ass one too. It's a medallion, okay? It's a medallion. My homegirl's like, good, I'm tired of these little buttons. I need a statement piece. That's what's up. Thank you, PP Felder. PP Felder. This is lit. This is a very lit product. This is very lit. You know when you make something and you like, this is very lit. The patchwork sweater. What's that? What's the patchwork sweater? Someone said, I don't deserve to be single. It's not like a punishment. There is a Views for Amanda line. Not with clothes yet, but you can get the pen. You can get the notebook. You can get the logbook, the vocabulary logbook, word of the day logbook. How black am I going to have to get? So this is the pin. We have crew neck sweatshirts, and we have t-shirts. And the sizing is all there, all the measurements. So I don't want to say something and you're like, you said. They are true to size. This is a medium sweatshirt. Oh, we got the FBI in here, y'all. We got the FBI in here. You not black, FBA. Oh, shit. We got the FBI in here. The Alphabet Boys is in here, y'all. Oh, man. The ops is in here. The ops is in here. Call them out. There's some ops in this house. If you see them, point them out. There's some ops in this house. If you see them, point them out. Anytime y'all come with that FBA shit, I'ma tell you every time, you the FBI. You the FBI. Hey, Rhonda. FBI, COINTELPRO. TJ Swan, I eat like a bird. That's a fact. Your favorite pen was the Harriet Tubman pen? I don't know. My favorite pen is the Malcolm X pen. That Malcolm X pen, boy, I tell you. Let me see if I have any on hand right here. I know they all upstairs. There's also the Smart Funny and Black pen. This is one of my favorite pens. That's the first pen I ever made. Yeah, my pen game is kind of crazy. So if you love pens, you should absolutely go to my store, Amandaland Exports. Because I really don't play about a pen. My family is from Grenada and Boston. Oh, the Mother's Day pin, the Fat Man. That might actually also, I don't know, man. Try Chance the Rapper? What are you talking about? Try Chance the Rapper? Like his music? How do we celebrate Black Americans without the FBA label? I don't understand I don't understand that question. First of all, even the fact that Black people in this country would align themselves with the name American is counter-revolutionary. It is literally counter-intuitive. Like, folks be like, well, we shouldn't call ourselves Black. Black people decide to call themselves Black peoples. Let's start there. And it's not to say that we can't come up with something else, but the aligning of yourself as a colonized person with the identity of the colonizer in itself is problematic. As somebody who has family, I am a descendant and a citizen of Grenada, but I don't like that Grenada is still going by a name that was given to us by a colonizer. No, Grenada should be called Camerhorn, which is what the Carib and Arawaks called it. We should be Camerhornians. So this concept of even referring to ourselves as Black Americans or foundational Black Americans is counterintuitive. Ultimately, we are an indigenous people, and that indigeneity exists on multiple levels. In some cases, you have people who were actual Native Americans that got classified as quote unquote Black or Negro and then enslaved. Then you have people that were shipped over from ships. On ships that were shipped over from Africa that also got lumped into the whole Black slave nonsense, the African slave nonsense, because they had to come up with a classification to submit to, they had to come up with a classification to subjugate people. And it didn't matter where you were actually from. It just mattered that you fit into this little box that they made. And so the indigeneity ends up becoming something that exists even after that, because the people who were originally Native American and the people who were originally from the continent, that is a part of their descendancy. And then they get here and they are forced to then identify and grow and nurture a whole other existence. And that existence has been called Black American. It's been called African American. It's been called Negro. It's been called Black. It's been called Afro-American. It is its own existence because it has been here first. It wasn't somewhere else. Like, there was a whole culture, rituals and traditions and values that were born out of being here and having to experience being considered Black here. And that has a very multi-layered existence. Now, what I get frustrated with, though, is that you get these people, no, I'm not being convoluted. You are not able to keep up with the level of my conversation. You are unable to keep up with the level of my conversation. And so you get confused. And instead of saying, let me take notes so I can go back, you want to try to attempt to diminish my intellect. So, I'm letting this person stay in here, by the way, even though they're going to get blocked, because, I think it's really important for us to understand that we have people who can be on the web that are white people parading as Black people. Like this person here, they're not an actual Black person. They're a bot. They're a bot parading as a Black person to attempt to rile me up and to undermine me, right? Because no actual Black person is going to be pushing some type of negative rhetoric that devalues the necessity for Pan-Africanism. Like, no actual Black person from the soil is going to be about that. I'm sorry. So, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So like here we have somebody saying that there are warships outside of Haiti right now to invade Haiti. I've had people on here say to me, Black people have done all the work and everybody else is just riding our coattails. And I like in the world. And then they'll even say it in the nation that Black Americans who are descendants of chattel slavery are the only Black people in this nation who have done anything to expand this nation. Now, baby, that's just not accurate. It's just not accurate. You know, and what I'm about is accuracy. That's what I'm about. So we're definitely not going to do that. We're definitely not going to sit here and act like the United States is not a part of the Americas, which includes South America, Central America, North America, and the Caribbean. Ignoring that reality and acting as if the United States has existed in some little bubble is legit nonsense. Like that's some like wild delusion. And so that's why whenever people say stuff like that to me, I'm like, oh, you must be a bot. Or like just like a white person pretending, because that's the kind of delusion of white people. Like white people who think that they're like supreme. They are completely delusional. So they say weird stuff like that. Eddie Edsco, I don't know what you're going on about at all. I just keep seeing you have a conversation by yourself. It would be great if Haiti fought back. It would be great if that's what actually united Haiti. Because let me tell you something. Once Haiti gets it together in the Western Hemisphere, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Haiti's the spiritual center. Haiti is the spiritual center of the Western Hemisphere. I have never interviewed 19 Keys, no. I love that people keep telling me that I am not FBA. You are a white person, so you don't have any position to tell me about what I am. I want to shout out my foundational Black American FBI agents who are in the chat. Welcome. You all are 1000% a psyop. You are absolutely created and run by a pimp / failed R&B singer. So I don't know, if that means anything to you, but it definitely undermines your validity to me. And at the end of the day, anyone who's basing their identity on "we were slaves" is sorely mistaken about the expansiveness of what it means to be Black. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. There's also just a reality that, like, my father is the descendants of slaves. Like, my great-great-great-grandmother's birth certificate has her freaking slave owner's name on it. Yes, Sarah. They are absolutely doing that work. Y'all even got the white girl seeing your bullshit. God damn it. See? Because all that FBA stuff is like the black MAGAs. It's like the black version of MAGA calling itself something else. It's, you know. Why would I debate Tariq Nasheed? Why? What is the debate about? Why would I debate somebody who has built a career on lies? Why do y'all want me to debate grifters? That's so weird to me. Like, what do you think I get out of that? What do you think I get out of that? That man made an entire video. He's made 2 literal videos where he just like completely just edited my shit to make my content look a certain way. Then he started an entire movement of Amandaseales hates black men. Ooh, child. And he is a bully. He's a bully because he ain't going after no niggas like that. I bet he wouldn't say nothing to me if he saw me with Brother Amir. So no, you can't debate someone who doesn't live in truth. That's why, like, when I see these Jubilee stuff, I went on there and they thought they were debating. I wasn't debating. What's the debate? Nothing you're saying is the truth. Some of the people, it was a debate because they were coming from a point of view. And so we were essentially arguing about the validity of our points of view. But then when they would devolve into their point of view being based on nonsense, it was like, what are we doing? Yes, Urban and Classic. I love that name. Urban and Classic with a Q. Child. Y'all stay wanting me to debate with these colonizer lovers. I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl. No, I'm out here having conversations and building coalition. I don't like debates. That's just not my jazz. I like actually having conversation and coalition with people like Bree Newsome, right? With people like Brisa Loren, with people like, who's coming on my show tomorrow? Who's coming on Views from Amandaland tomorrow? Let's see. Tomorrow we have Lawrence Seales, no relation, of the Seales family farm, and their farm gives, they use a barter system to do homeschooling with kids on their farm. Okay. So excited about that. I don't know what this tethering thing is. I don't even know what that means. What is tethering other than something from the movie Us? Hey, Jordy. I'm just getting up. I'm sitting back down. I'm not going nowhere. You need me to have a larger audience? No, I'm good. There's nothing to debate with Roland Martin. What's the debate? So here's the thing. Debates are they're not for you and the other person. Debates are for the audience. And I just have no interest in performing in having conversations that rile me up as a form of entertainment for other people. Some people are really good at that. Like Mehdi Hassan is like really good at debating. Mark Lamont Hill, they're really good at debating. Like they like that. I don't like that. Marco, Paulo. You heard the NAACP helped frame Marcus Garvey to get him deported? You know what? Wouldn't surprise me. NAACP was on some bullshit. Not every NAACP chapter is the same, let me tell you that. At the end of the day, a lot of folks just be haters. You know what I'm saying? Folks be haters. They don't like, that somebody else is getting shine or that somebody else's message is getting through. Miss Shirley just won an NAACP award. Was she already nominated for the award before she passed? Got it. They said she won it 4 years ago. All right then, no problems. Someone said, that's why I follow you. I see how you treat your haters and I felt free. Listen, we about to go into the year of the fire horse. We also got Neptune and Aries. For 14 years we got Neptune and Aries. So y'all better get used to confrontation. Should Grenada be classified as a level 2? What the hell are y'all talking about? Why do y'all ask dumb questions? Everything the U.S. says is BS. Of course you hear others being silenced. They tried to silence me with Kamala. Why do you think my radio show got canceled? You can't worry about none of that shit. You can't worry about these people who are out here that are in the way. All you got to worry about is doing what you doing and not being somebody in the way. And that's going to get them out the way. I hate that. Listen, people be having these phrases and then they live by them. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Yes, there is. There's absolutely such a thing as a dumb question. 1,000,000,000%. The other one that people love to say is, that money that person stole from you, that's what you paid to get your freedom or to get your peace. Get the hell out of here. Y'all heard that in a movie, Bronx Tale, and you're saying it as if it is some, parable or something to live by. What? No. People shouldn't steal. Period. People should not steal. Stop taking advantage of people. Stop letting people who take advantage of people get away with it. What are we doing? That's the problem. We built up all of these phrases that ingrain passivity into our society. And so it literally just makes it easier for not only for you to accept that from each other, but for you to accept that from authority figures. You shouldn't be accepting none of that shit. None of that shit. When people do you dirty, they should be called out in the village square. There should be investigation or receipts proven, and you should be compensated. Period. This whole like, oh, you're messy if you say someone's name? What? What are we talking about? Nah, you should, why are you bringing that to the internet? Like when Buddy from Black Panther, fake Black Panthers, when I said like, yeah, I don't think this is real, people were like, oh my gosh. Why would you bring that to the internet? That just doesn't feel like the place to bring it. Why not? Why not? He's on the internet. He got popping on the internet. So why should that not be the place to bring it? And sure enough, he turned out to be a fraud, and I didn't get enough apologies. That's all I'm saying. I should have at least gotten at least one edible arrangement. They was coming from my head. Exactly, Trishawn. I just feel like this shouldn't happen on the internet. Why TF not? I had Huey P. Newton's wife in my comments saying, thank you for posting this. But random sister XYZ from wherever the F was like, I don't think this should be in the comment. I don't think this should be on the internets. Y'all, last night, when I tell y'all I bust my ass so crazy on the ice. Y'all. I've been working out every single day for the past 25 days, and I had to give my body a day off today. I had to give my body a day off. I hit that ground so fast. Like, when people say they fell in slow motion? I did not. I did not fall in slow motion. I fell very quickly. And man, if you ask me one more time about Daruba bin Wahad, I swear for Lord, the obsession y'all get fixated on one thing, and then y'all be in my chat just like pressed about it. Stephen Okoa, I feel like my body is okay. Like I have a little bit of soreness, but I'm going to take a full moon bath tonight. And is that your ADHD, Michael? Regulate, Michael. Regulate that ADHD. I feel you. I get it. I respect it, but I can't stand it. So stop it. Find myself a structural integration practitioner. I don't not suffered enough damage to seek out a particular practitioner. But I definitely said, what? A full moon bath? A full moon bath is taking a bath during a full moon and using that time to center, to set intentions that align with the actual full moon's alignment with the planets and the zodiac, and to also let the water regulate my nervous system. And that's enough. Yeah, those two things. So, Mr. 71610, I wrote an article on my Substack called Full Moon Musings, and I'm going to do a new article every full moon. Thank you, and Michelle. And this particular full moon, the article was about every one of us is a revolution. And what I'm talking about in this article is that, you know, the revolution starts with us, but I think for some people, they've kept it in a cerebral mindset. So I hear a lot of people talk about decolonization from just the cerebral mindset. But the truth is our bodies are colonized. And our bodies are colonized not only in what we eat, but in literally what we are in sync with. So if we're in sync with a calendar that was created by colonizers, even the very way that we are aligning ourselves on the planet is colonized. And so it's devoid of indigenous knowledge. And it is indigenous knowledge that has allowed for this planet to even exist this long. So I am doing the internal and integrational work of decolonizing myself from that calendar and aligning myself with the moon and its cycles. And it's a process because, again, I'm 44. I've been in the world for 44 years. I'm accustomed to Saturday and Sunday and, you know, Mondays and Fridays being this thing and holidays, and this time of year is for this and that time of year is for that. And, you know, when you live in a nation like the United States, this is a nation that is very, very propagandized. And so, like, you are really seen as somebody who's like crazy if you are disconnecting yourselves from what has been defined as the norm. However, the question we always have to ask is, who defined it and why is it normal? It's actually normal to be aligned with the moon, because everything else on this earth is aligned with the moon. The harvest is aligned with the moon. The ocean is aligned with the moon. So if both the land and the sea, the two parts of this earth that make it special, that make it habitable, if both of those aspects are aligned with the moon, if the indigenous people of the past all had lunar calendars, that's actually the norm. We doing some other shit that was created by people who worship Satan as a devil. Thank you, Goddess Love. Let me tell you something. So, you know, we had a crazy snowstorm. Crazy. I'm going to come back to that. Button Lex asked a really great question. What's something you had to unlearn as you got more confident in my voice? As I got more confident in my voice, I had to unlearn that learning is an intellectual thing and not an intellectual ethical thing. Learning has always been kind of like positioned for us as like we learn things, we read things. We memorize things. However, what we really need to do when we are learning is be aligning them with our value system. We have to understand them beyond simply just the facts that have been presented, but we have to understand them within the context of our morals, of our principles. And so, like on Views from Amandaland, like it's not enough for me to just give you the news. I got to provide context that is also about the morals and ethics. And so when we have like this whole news thing about like, oh, it's got to be objective, et cetera, that's bullshit when the news is propagandized. So then it's never objective. And for what it's worth, nothing that they're talking about is even objective. How do you talk about priests taking sexual advantage of children in the Catholic Church from an objective point of view? Tell me. How? What's the objectivity? Considering both sides? GTFO. GTFOH. So that was like a big thing I had to learn. Like, oh, you got to change your relationship with gaining knowledge and with intellect and how you present things. Someone just asked, and they thought they were really eating. They were like, okay, but like, how do you organize your speaking engagements? How do you do that with the moon? Like, some of it is just, we're so assimilated. What I said was, my drops that I am doing are going to be aligned with the moon. I exist in the world as well as on the earth. So doing speaking engagements, et cetera, like that's not out of sync with the moon. If I do it on a moon day, or if I do it on a Tuesday, I'm in the world. I'm harvesting my gifts. That's not out of sync. That's not assimilation. That's me doing my damn thing. It's not like, oh, because it's Tuesday, you don't do nothing. You only do things on certain days of the moon. No, you do certain things on certain days of the moon. That's the idea. And so when we talk about metaphysics and we talk about the power of the earth and we talk about harnessing the power of the earth and all of these ancient peoples and civilizations who had built their entire civilizations aligned with the power of the earth and how to utilize its strengths, we know that we come from people who know what's up. Anywho, what I was saying before was that I got snowed in. And thank you, Button Lex. I had gotten snowed in, and I really just like carved my way out. And then I spoke to my contractor friend Henry. He was like, "Why didn't you call us?" And I was like, "Because I don't know." And he sent his guys over today, and y'all, when I tell y'all these men shoveled my entire porch and my driveway and my stairs, see how I immediately started stimming? I just can't even, like, it was just so, I'm just so like overwhelmed that I was cared for in that way. They got busy Because it was not a game. Okay? It was not a game. Because I had a pipe freeze last night. I found a pipe. I went to go take my full moon bath last night. And honey, there was no water. Hey, Seals Family Farm. I'm going to see you tomorrow. So, yeah. Very pleased. I had gotten really comfortable with being surrounded by snow. Too comfortable. With being surrounded by snow. To the point that now that I don't see it, I'm like, oh, right. This is what life was like. And then my next door neighbor, she came over to check on me. So yes, I had no water last night. I realized this at 10 p.m. And then I realized I couldn't remember how to turn off the water in my house. Because if you in a house where you're in a cold climate, and this is a dangerous level of cold we're dealing with. I know my Minneapolis people know all of this, so just let me tell them. Yes, the snow is engineered. So a house is like a body. The piping of your house is like a body. If your body has a blockage, it fuck everything up. It's a clot. So if a pipe freezes, it doesn't mean the whole pipe has to freeze. It can just be a little portion of the pipe that freezes. If that shit is set up in a situation way where the water can't get to where it needs to go, well, pressure busts pipes. So last night, when I went to take a bath and that water wasn't going, I texted my next door neighbor and I was like, do y'all have water? And they said, yes, we do. Do you need some? And I was like, no, I'm going to just see if I can figure out what's going on. And so I went, and like my house isn't big. So like I felt like I should be able to see where the leak is. And no, Trayshawn, I took down the icebox where my heart used to be. And I went in my art studio, and there's the water. Woo-wee! My heart fell to the floor, y'all! My heart fell to the floor. That water was on the floor, and I was like, because then you have to figure out how to turn off the water. And in LA, my water turn off was like in such an obvious place. And for some reason, I mean, the water turn off was not in an obvious place this time. And your girl was about to be in a situation. So I text my, I texted my contractor friend, Henry, and they did all the work on my house. And so I texted him, but it was like 10 or 15. I'm literally just texting him. It's a Hail Mary text. There's no more notebooks? Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me put some more. What? For which collection? Someone said there's no more notebooks for... Lisa, for which collection? Why is this doing this? There's no shop. The shop is Amanda Land Exports. It's pinned right here. And they're left. There is no Smart Funny and Black notebook. There's the How Black Am I Gonna Get notebook. And that is available. So Deji Adako, yes, when you are in cold weather, it is helpful to do that. My situation was different because the pipe that froze was the pipe that goes out my side of my house to the the spigot where you plug in a hose. So that froze, and the froze came up the pipe. Ciao. I like that, Laurel. So, tell me why Henry taught me how to turn off the water. He showed me where to go. And then drove an hour to come and fix the situation because he was like, this is an emergency. Like, if we don't fix this, it'll mess up your whole water heater. He was like, this is all I've been doing. Emergencies. Wow, someone just ordered. Thank you for supporting my little shop. Thank you for supporting my little shop, Lisa. Yay! That's right, you found it. That's Lisa right here. Thank you for supporting my little shop, Lisa. How black am I gonna have to get? Is there a pin? Is there a difference between the pin versus the lapel pin? Let me see what you're talking about, sis. Where do you see a pin versus a lapel pin? Help me. Because, like, this is a button. This is a button. It doesn't say pin, baby. It says button. Because this is a button. And this is a pin. So, on the site, it shows you the front and back of this to help you be able to discern that. This is a button. But the lapel pin is a lapel pin with the spikes. You got the book? Thank you, G-Lynn. Oh, hey, Tiffany. Yeah. So this is the button, so you can see the sizes. It's a little smaller. But the button comes in the bonus bundle. The pin comes by itself. But the pin comes with an insert. I haven't got the inserts yet. So I'm going to show y'all that when they get here. Yes, honey, the outside pipe froze up to the inside because basically your pipes are in your walls. And if they don't insulate the pipes, and so that particular room is like the only part of my house. It used to be a storage room, and I had them make it into a studio. So it's not really like equipped in the same way that the rest of my house is. It doesn't have heaters in it. So that's the problem. Because it doesn't have heaters in it, it doesn't stay warm like the rest of the house. The only way to really prevent like your pipes getting frozen is you keep your taps open so that the water is always going. Because it's the stillness of the water that gets them frozen. That's like the most way that your pipes get frozen. So that's why he was saying, okay, you've turned off the water, but the water is still in your pipes. So if we don't come and fix this pipe and get the water moving, it's going to freeze overnight. And then your whole shit is going to be fucked up. So you just keep a little trickle. You just keep the pipe open. Thank you, Love Adrian XOXO. So one time when I was in New York in 2015, it got down to, we just had another order. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Deji. So when I lived in New York in When I lived in New York in 2015, I lived in Harlem. And my pipes started bursting. And I used to do Airbnb. And I had someone staying downstairs because I had like a duplex. She did not want to leave. I was like, sis, like the pipe is burst in here. Like you have to go somewhere else. And so she had to go. But then the plumbers who were coming to help were so terrible. Like they just kept blasting holes in my walls because that's how they fix it. They have to just go in the wall and try and find where the pipe is broke, where the pipe is burst, and patch the pipe. And they were just like not nailing it. And so my house just looked like a war zone because it just had all these like holes in the walls. And then we had to turn off the water this is not my house, sorry, my apartment. We had to turn off the water. So I didn't have hot water. So even once they got the water back on, so I didn't have water for like 3 days. So I had to shower in the MTV building. Then when they got the water back on, they don't fix the holes after. Then when they got the water back on, y'all, they were like, well, the water heater isn't working. So I'm looking at the water heater and like they had installed a new water heater. And I was like, this water heater is not working. And I kept telling them the water heater is not working. These were Jamaicans and they were just being really ridiculous and very misogynist. And it was very much like, why would this dumb woman know if a water heater is working or not? As if I don't know how things work. And I was like, I'm trying to tell y'all that it's installed incorrectly because it's not working. They had installed it upside down. So I didn't have hot water in my apartment for 2 weeks in New York City. And so I had to go to LA at that time to take a meeting. So I go to LA and my mom had come to house sit. Now, my mom really, she likes a crisis. Like, she loves a crisis because she likes to be a hero. So she was like, no problem. So she was there. And what, the Rasta pasta? So she's there. And I get a text from her when I'm in LA. And it shows the tank of the toilet. And she said the toilet tank froze. That's how cold it was in my house, in my apartment. That's how cold it was in my apartment. The tank had frozen. Thank you, Tiffany, for your order. Thank you for supporting my little shop. I need to get like a little bell that does ring when you get an order. Ting-a-ling-a-ling. Ting-a-ling-a-ling. School bell ring. Knife and fork fight the dumpling. Boyaka, boyaka, the shamba ranking. Okay. So while my mom is there, my mom is like, yo, it's so cold in here. And the tank froze. So they tell her, well, leave the tap open. So she leaves the tap open in the bathtub. But again, there's no heat in the house. So she's just in my bedroom with the cat. Rest in peace to Lando. She's just in the bedroom with Lando and a space heater trying to survive. She love that shit. Then she sees water coming in under the door. Y'all. She had left the tap open, but the drain had frozen. And so when the water started flowing from the tap, it was still cold because the water heater still wasn't working. So even though the pipes had frozen, when they unfroze, the drain didn't unfreeze. And so the water filled up the tub, and she didn't even know this because she was in the room trying to stay warm. And so the water flooded the apartment. And she called the super, who is a terrible person. And that man said, I'm eating dinner. You live 2 floors up. There you go, Hendrickson. Laurel, she got what she wanted. No, landlords and supers aren't always crooks, but landlords, for the most part, are crooks. You know, I gotta tell you, my landlord wasn't a crook for a while. Like, he was basically like, his father owned the building, and he was in law school. And when he was in law school and his father owned the building, like, he was cool. Because I feel like he understood the struggle that I was in because I was a young person and he was a young person. And so there would be times where I'd be 3 months behind and he would call me like, bro. And I'm like, I know. Okay, I'm going to pay. So, like, you know, that was a blessing. But then once he graduated law school and his dad, in, you know, Zionist fashion, was like, we got to make more money. They partnered with some other bigger, like, management company. Everything changed. And he became a prick. And, you know, when I moved, I was like, y'all did not take care of me. Y'all want me to pay rent when I didn't have heat in my damn house. You had a super who wouldn't help. And then when he did help, he came in my house and wouldn't leave, came in my apartment and wouldn't leave. And was on some like, nah, I'm not going to leave, which is abusive. Then he turned off the electricity in my apartment. He tried to have his wife fight me. And this was somebody I had originally been cool with. But when he lost his job, he became an alcoholic. And alcohol just changes your personality. Why wouldn't he leave? Because he's an abuser. And he wanted to assert dominance. So this 6'4" man was just in my apartment. And I told the super and he was like, you should call the cops. And I was like, I don't call the cops. You should call him and tell him to get the fuck out my apartment since he's your employee. Mind you, the precinct is down the block, but I don't call the cops. I ain't never called the cops in my life. Like, my security has called the cops when, like, my house, you know, like, the alarm went off. He definitely tried to get his wife to fight me. Little skinny ass. And instead, my mom came outside. Now, that was funny. That was funny. Y'all sit here and talk about, oh, y'all need to get, like, there's a guy in here who's like, see, y'all got to get you the nerd. Y'all got to get you the nerd. As if the Epstein files is not stacked to the brim with nerds. I don't know where y'all got off thinking that nerds are somehow just good people because they're book smart. I've never understood this. Like, because they're square, they're like good partners. I've never understood that characteristic. Y'all just seem to think that because women are attracted to swag, that the swagless are somehow good dudes. None of y'all are. None of y'all are. Because of patriarchy. Dudes are only good dudes if they choose to say, I am going to decolonize from the patriarchy. And they come in all shapes and sizes. You could be swaggy, you could be nerdy, etc. But all of y'all are trash. Unless you choose not to be. Because that's the standard. The standard that has been set is that you can be trash and it has no bearing on how you move through the world. That's what patriarchy is. However, there are men who decide, hey, guess what? I don't like that. I don't want to be that. My value system is not existing within that framework, and I'm going to choose my own value system to live by. Those are good dudes. The dudes who choose to live by a value system that is completely devoid of toxic masculinity, of misogyny, etc. So this whole like, oh, get you a nerd or get you a heavy nigga, like fat niggas is trash, nerdy white boys is trash, swaggy Latinos is trash, like all of it is trash. All of it. Revolutionary Arabs is trash. Everybody's trash. Unless they choose not to be. And that is not based on your profession. That's not based on your that's not based on your profession. Don't prod lesbian in here. Cause you got lesbians that are holding up the patriarchy with their shit too. Y'all lesbians be over there scrapping. Pop, 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 pop. Cut it out. You got a lot of lesbians that be mimicking toxic masculinity. So let's not do that dance either. Just the same way that you have gay men doing it. Everybody has been indoctrinated within patriarchy. So everybody has the possibility of upholding it. You have to intrinsically choose something different. And you have to you have to make the choice to want to live by that. Because you want to live by that. Not because you want to be with a particular person. You know, not because you want to be perceived a certain way. No, you have to genuinely want to live like that because that is how your soul is at its most natural. So that's it, Cool J. It's free. Yes, everyone is a work in progress. However, are we on step 1 or are we on step 7? I mean, masculine energy doesn't mean it's patriarchal. We all have feminine and masculine in us. So just so y'all know, the notebooks, 25 people will get a surprise notebook with a spinner. And what I'm doing right now is putting the spinners on the 25 notebooks. I'm hand installing them. Women want the patriarchy. I'm a woman and I don't want the patriarchy. What are you saying? I hate when y'all say these weird blanket statements. Like, I can't stand when y'all be like, we such and such. And I'm like, we? Do you know everybody? Are you on a group chat with the world? What you mean we? I'm just really proud. I just think this is a really dope thing for you to open when you get it and feel like, all right, we're going to still keep going. For those who don't know, this is my How Black Am I Gonna Have to Get line. I made up a little song about it. Okay. Like to hear it? Here it go. How black am I gonna have to get? How black, 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 black. How black am I gonna have to get? How black am I gonna have to get? So proud of it. So proud of it. Full steam brought me back to me. I'm working on that one next. Full of steam taught me, brought me back to me. Full of steam, yeah. You can't tell people things like that. Like, if you're a Cancer, then you're unbreakable with this match, etc., because astrology is not that linear. Like, I'm a Cancer, Virgo. You know, you have to look at my full chart to really be able to identify, like, okay, how do you really exist in your signs? Like, not everybody exists in their signs the same way. You know, like a Cancer who was born at night is going to exist in their sign different than a Cancer who was born in the day. A Cancer who has a different moon and a different rising placement is going to exist differently than a Cancer. A Cancer's moon and rising placements are going to determine the type of Cancer they are. So, you know, when we say these things, when we see these like matching things that are like, oh, you're a Cancer and you're a Taurus, so y'all are going to get along. I have now learned from taking Laura Chung's astrology class that is a absolute crock of crap. And you have to really be able to understand the depth of the chart and the houses to identify what a match really is. And you have to understand the timing. Like I may have been a better match with a Taurus in my 20s because of my transits than I would be right now. So, you know, like you can say, okay, well, you're a Cancer. Yes, but I have a lot of Gemini placements in very particular places. Philistine. Oh my God, Laurel, you will not be let down. And I think honestly, like, because I was asking her the other day, how has she like kind of like learned from the first class to do this one? And the changes that she's made, I think are going to be so helpful. Like if it wasn't on a Wednesday, I would take it. But because it's on a Wednesday and I already do views for Amandaland, I can't take it. But like I would have taken it again. And if she offers it on a different day, next time, I'll take it again. There you go, Dominic. That part right there. Your chart frames you in the context of the world. Like, and how you, like what you're up against and how that is like actually being dealt with. Like me and somebody in Palestine can have the exact same chart, but we're going to show up in the world we're in possibly different. I mean, I'm still new to astrology. So the Greek astrology that I started with is really based on the fact that like it was already the most, like I already had like a context for it. And there is like legitimacy to it because it was based on astrology that is before it, right? So like Greek astrology is essentially based on Egyptian astrology. So even though like they have Greek words and Greek gods and stuff, it actually is based on Egyptian astrology. So it does have a connectivity to the motherland, even though of course they like to pretend like it doesn't because that's what the fuck these colonizers do. But I do want to learn, you know, Vedic astrology eventually. And I really am interested in Chinese astrology just because, you know, the Chinese they on a different wave. She is, right? Yes, no, totally. Yes, no, totally. Right? Yes, no, totally. I love that name. Yes, no, totally. Totally. Yes, no, totally. Yeah. When am I pulling through South Africa? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I gotta see. Yeah, that was another cool thing about Laura's class was that like in the beginning, she gives you a historical context for astrology. So you know, that's the whole thing right now is like anyone who's teaching you right now needs to be giving you context. Because particularly if you are from any Western country, especially, no, not even, if you're from any country that's been colonized, your curriculum has been colonized. So you simply have to have a consciousness about context because everything you've learned has been contextualized in a propagandized fashion. So you can't really be learning from folks who are not giving you context. You can't learn astrology without it being properly contextualized. How best to manage psychic abilities due to stress? You're getting psychic abilities because you're stressed? This is not your only shot. Go to my website and fill out the form. Oh, shut up. I love when people love to tell me about myself like they know me. A person with no picture and no name is like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. Let me tell you about you. What? I got 8 more notebooks. Those are signed. I mean, of course, like the Miles Davis one and like the Bob Marley one, but like most of the albums up there are signed. Like that Outkast album is up there because it's signed. Aquemini is my second favorite Outkast album, but I don't have that one signed. Like that Jay-Z album is up because it's signed. I mean, do I think Jay-Z is a capitalist who wants to be, who wants to rise to the ranks of the Illuminati? And I think it would be like his favorite thing ever to be like one of the 13 to be like the first black family of the 13 families. Yes. That said, that album is really good. I didn't ask you, Egyptia. I would take that album down, just saying. Nobody asked you. The fuck? When you do your album wall, don't put it up. I did not see the tribute at the Grammys. I just saw the Bilal part. Yeah, but the just saying is not, like, y'all can just also just not say things. Like, I think that the internet really tricks y'all into thinking that everything you have to say is valuable. It's not. People say, but it's a public forum. You can choose how you behave in a public forum. Everybody's opinion is not valuable. I don't know where we got that from, by the way. Most people's opinion is not valuable. For real. Most people's opinion is not valuable. Like if we had a, 80% literacy rate, opinions would have way more value. First of all, y'all talking about Michael Jackson and Jeffrey Epstein. You can tell from the picture that Michael Jackson was like, why the fuck are y'all niggas taking this picture? And the other part of it is that they were absolutely trying to frame Michael Jackson. I mean, that's obvious. So like when you know things like that and you understand Zionism, you understand how, Michael Jackson had just done a song about Palestine, and you start to be aware of these things, you know that these people, they do duplicitous things because they know that they're trying to build up a case to get people out. You had all these parents, all of a sudden, like all these kids came forward to say that their parents told them to lie. Them pictures, Michael looks so irritated. Michael's like this. Why are these niggas making me take this picture? Same, Egyptia. Shared opinion with that one. Totes shared. Totes. And then they framed the black doctor. All of it. Y'all just want to believe that we live in a much better world than we actually do. And that keeps us from actually doing the work that we need to do to make the world that we should be living in. Are we aware of this? If you actually understood how shitty this world was, you would know how much more of a responsibility it is for every single one of us to uphold principles and morals and ethics. But because folks seem to think that we don't live in a shitty world, that there are just shitty things that happen over there, we don't hold ourselves individually to that responsibility. And then when people do, like myself, they get looked at as, oh, you're on a high horse, or you're self-righteous, or you're what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you're judgmental. And it's like, no, I'm going to judge you if you want some fuck shit. 1 gajillion%. Yes. However, folks really be thinking like, shit is not that bad. And so they don't hold themselves to that standard. Like, here's another line that people love to say to themselves. Alvin, you saw that? That was some real autism shit right there. Here's another line people say to lie to themselves, in my opinion. I've stopped expecting myself from other people. Fuck out of here. Am I expecting myself from the cashier at Lowe's? No. But am I expecting myself from anyone in my inner circle? Abso-fucking-lutely. If you don't have the same standard of care and values and principles that I do individually, and you're in my circle, you got to go. And we have this thing that we started where we say, like, because, you know, I don't want to be disappointed. So what are we doing? So we're making decisions out of fear. We're literally crafting our life around fear of disappointment? Shit. No. Y'all got to get stronger, man. Y'all got to get back to your child, because that inner child didn't have that fear. That inner child was out here in these streets. Whenever I hear people say that, I'm like, that's literally just you being afraid of being disappointed. And now you've opened yourself up to be abused. Because you've literally said out loud, I don't expect other people to treat me as well as I treat myself. Miss me with that. Y'all have been really helping me right here, because y'all have been helping me, just keeping me company while I'm doing these notebooks. This took so much longer than I thought it was going to take. Oh, baby, everybody's inner child has neglect issues, in my opinion. Because if you're in the West, like, our culture is not about, like, showing up as a village at all. So what I'm making is, I have these notebooks from my new line, from my new collection, How Black Am I Gonna Have to Get? And I wanted to add a little extra spice. And so 25 people who order the bonus bundle will be surprised with a notebook that has a spinner. So you can be like, how black am I going to have to get today? I'm going to be Sister Soldier Black today. Okay, so what we need to understand is that this world and this nation does not care about the black person. It does not care about the African American individual. This nation is organized around capitalism that consistently ignores the expansiveness and the necessitations of the black woman and man and family. How black am I gonna have to get? Asada Shakur. Asada. You see, we have to really take hold of a different mindset when it comes to the way that we are supporting each other. The black peoples, the African peoples of the United States are the ones who are left behind. And so the aspiration cannot be to be the next John D. Rockefeller or to be the next J.P. Morgan. No, that can't be the aspiration. Yes, giving you impersonations. Hold on, I need to charge this phone. How black am I gonna have to get? Isabel is in the building. A thespian. Oh my God, someone was in here with the name Devon, and I was like, I know this nigga is not in my motherfucking chat. Will you get another Smart Funny and Black tour? Not no time soon. It just ain't time right now. The How Black Bundle. Okay, y'all gonna stick with me for these next 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the next 7, Devron is not Devon. Let's be very clear, you all. Devron is not Devon. Lord have mercy. Do I have anything planned for DC? No. Next week, I will be in Birmingham, Alabama, and I will be at Tougaloo in Mississippi. So the journal, the Divination as Liberation Journal, I really need to step into it, but it's sidereal, which is a little different. And the thing about it is that on the sidereal calendar, I'm actually a Leo, but when I read the breakdown of it, it's like, okay, I can see some of that, but I really have lived as a Cancer, even in the sidereal, even though technically I'm a Leo on the sidereal, I'm still a Cancer. When you see the breakdown of it, it's like, oh yeah, I'm really her. Yes, I'm gonna be at Tougaloo. I'm gonna be at Tougaloo next week. Kashif, Cancer, Virgo, in a very, very real way. Even the way my other placements are set up is for me to live my Cancer, Virgo-ness, to the fullest. Y'all better not fuck around and let me really learn astrology. Because I'm going to be so powerful. But my version of powerful is the ability to create peace. Thank you, Taijo6. Thank you for supporting my little shop. Thank you, Ethos, for supporting my little shop as well. Go to the link below to support. You guys are what funds the work that I do. Thanks, Laura. Having so much knowledge, how do you keep from losing your mind amongst all this crap idiocy? Because I've just really committed to like doing the best with what I have right now as I have it. And I've made really good decisions in my life. Like, I've learned from my mistakes. And so in learning from my mistakes, I also began to listen to my intuition. And so that inner self, that inner voice, and knowing that I have it there, it kind of always brings me back. Like, I get frustrated. I get crazy. Like, I get like, I can't believe that shit. Like, I get all of that. I get there. But then, you know, you're just like, I mean, if I'm not going to unalive myself, I got to figure it the fuck out. You know, that's essentially that's literally, I'm going to do the best I can with what I got. Like, that's really it. Thank you, Sarita. Make sure you tell Colby Tyner, Colby Kolb from, what's it called? Interactive One, Radio One. If anything, watch the Tasha K interview just to see me tell the story of why my radio show got canceled. That's really the number one reason why I would say watch the Tasha K interview. But I've also like made choices. Like, I've made decisions like, okay, I'm not going to chase social norms anymore. Like, for so long, the social norm is like, you got to have a relationship. You got to have a man. You got to have a relationship. And so, you know, you find yourself like always in pursuit of this thing that you really honestly shouldn't be in pursuit of. Like, it's the kind of thing that should happen organically, not that you should have to like be chasing. And once I started letting things go of things like that and actually just like loving the things that I love and actually just accepting, like, I love cats, so I'm going to have hella cats. Like, just do that. Like, I realize I love dark chocolate, so you see me eat dark chocolate every single day. But, you know, I also had to make changes to my life. Like, I work out every day. And when I say work out, I had to figure out what is a version of that like, I'm not going to get bored with and that I can be consistent with. This is the first day in 25 days where I didn't, like, move for 20 minutes. Every day for the past 25 days, I have found a way to move for 20 minutes. Whether it's swimming or Tai Chi or yoga or African dance, I got me a dang mini trampoline and I'll just go and jump on that bitch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll do the workout, but literally just jumping on the trampoline, the little mini trampoline, I can't have a big one, but the little one is still like joy. So I saw someone say the other day, like, small joys to deal with big disappointments. Yeah. That just worked out. Have you? Yeah, like, I just think that because we've grown up in a capitalist society, We have been tricked to think that everything has to be opulent or big or major to be effective. And that's just not true. Like, I can just take a moment and just peel an orange and eat an orange. And that'll be a nice moment of my day that I treated to myself. Like, I didn't look at my phone. I just sat and looked at the birds outside and ate my orange. And it may have taken only 5 minutes, but it let my body reset for 5 minutes. And something that small can still be useful. You can do 30 squats 3 times a day. And they say that alone really helps your systems, your lymphatic systems, and your neurological systems to prevent, Alzheimer's and dementia. So, these are the types of things that we have to just allow ourselves to take in and understand and apply, knowing that much of what we've been told by any big information sharers is lies. So when people are like, Amanda, you need a bigger audience. No, I don't. No, I don't. Because I don't even trust people with big audiences. Catch me in a bookstore. Catch me in a coffee shop. Or catch me at like a black owned or like a liberation owned, because black owned don't mean shit no more. A liberation owned performance space. But this business of like, oh, we need a big audience. Nah, man. That 2.3 million followers that you see, that was built up over years and years and years and years. Remember, I was on a hit television show for 5 seasons. Like, I had an HBO comedy special. Like, your girl was out here. How often do I do them? Whenever. Just when I have a new drop usually, because then I gotta pack. Thank you, Louisa. Nobody gives me props for my web series, so that makes me feel good. Because Get Your Life really was that girl. You better get your life. My energy today is a little off because I went to bed hella late because my house was flooding. And so it's going to take me tonight to get back on course. Tomorrow we have views from Amandaland. So hopefully you guys will be there at 10 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Amandaseales TV. Thank you, Blair. How black am I gonna have to get? Yes, that is so funny. I did make music. Y'all, you didn't see my new video? My new little promo for how black am I gonna have to get? It's not like bad energy, Stevie. I'm just kind of like sluggish. I fell on the ice yesterday. I was up late. I was running around this morning trying to find salt to melt this daggone ice. I didn't find none. Well, that's too fun. That fool was funny. I decided to make a mixtape, and I'm going to produce all the songs. My favorite singer of all time, Whitney Houston. Use kitty litter? Say word. You can use kitty. You can use kitty litter to melt shut the front freaking door. Okay, I'm going to try it. That's so cool. Not melt, but traction. Tell me more, Laurel. What do you mean? You put the kitty litter on the ice and it doesn't melt the ice, but it allows you to not slip on the ice. Okay. What? Okay. And we're talking about just like clay kitty litter. Okay, Donica, keep me grounded. She said it is messy. Oh my God. Clay is the best? Perfect. Because that's the one I have. Trey Sean, I mean, listen. If it works, it works. Shout out to the cat ladies putting y'all on. You feel me? We out here. Spirit, when you were firefighting, use kitty litter for everything? Tell me what else you use kitty litter for. Can kitty litter put out a grease fire? Oh my God. So like if your car is like trapped on some ice, you can use kitty litter to give your tires some traction. Oil stains in the driveway. Laurel, I'm so jelly. Oh my gosh. Kitty litter gets up vomit too? Y'all, this is life-changing. Your boiler burst and you use kitty litter to get up the water. Basically, Stevie, fresh step be stepping. Yes, no, totally. I had the solutions, Laurel. I had it right here. They just delivered my kitty litter today. Wow. Kitty litter is that girl. Who the fuck knew, man? Who knew? Why did you think I was still in Grenada? Why y'all be wondering where I'm at? Huh? Y'all always wondering where I'm at. I mean, kitty litter is kind of magic. Valerie, this person wants to marry you. Eddie wants to marry you, Valerie. Zap, 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 zap. Am I writing lyrics first or creating the music? I come up with melody first. Melody and lyrics first. So like, for instance, like I have a song in my head, but then sometimes it's like there may not even be any more lyrics. Like I have a song in my head that the lyrics are Philistine taught me, brought me back to me. That's the song. Philistine taught me, brought me back to me. And so with that, I will then make the beat and like expound upon it. Or so like with that, I basically feel like the form is going to be the beat that will drop in certain places. And then there's like a video I have talking about why Palestine is special and different. And like, I want to play that over a portion of it. I do not know who my tutelary Orisha is, but I am water. Like I am water. So I feel like Yemeya must be mine. You want whatever I'm packing? Then maybe you got to go to AmandalandExports.com, Tammy. You're eating tres leches? Philistine taught me, brought me back to me. Philistine taught me, brought me back to me. Mashallah, Spirit of the Lion. Someone said I act like a Sagittarius. Do I? I literally know nothing about Sagittarius. Dante. I also want to shout myself out because yesterday I reconciled my accounts in QuickBooks. So you really can't tell me shit. As far as I'm concerned, when you do that, like you shouldn't have to do anything else for the rest of the week. You did it. You're done. That's what I feel. It is so arduous and annoying and boring. Oh, she heard me whistling. Hi, puppy. Mm-hmm. Woo. 1 second. Philistine taught me. But this morning, so I was working on that last night and I really thought I was hitting it. And then when I woke up this morning and listened to it, I was not hitting it. So, sometimes it be like that. Yes. Okay, 4 more books, y'all. So if you have any questions, this is the time to ask them because I'm about to get off. Remember, you can support me by signing up for my Patreon. You can support me by purchasing some goodies from my little shop, Amandaland Exports. Yeah, she's nosy. That's not in the cards this go round. But you could add it when you get your sweatshirt. We got Small Doses sweatshirts coming soon. In 2 weeks. So for all my people that were fans of Small Doses podcast, those are coming in 2 weeks. The front of the sweatshirt will have, sweatshirts and tees. Did I do sweatshirts or did I do long sleeve shirts? I can't remember. The front of the shirts will have the logo, and then the back of the shirts will have the full list of all 400 Small Doses episodes. Thank you, Not Too Shabby. I was really on Insecure, y'all. That was the whole time. That feels like a flipping... How do I get an additional solo button? I feel like they're too big, Laurel. That's a big earring, Laurel. You know what, Laurel? I have some smaller buttons that I'll put in your order. Did I get smaller buttons? I think I have smaller buttons. If I have smaller buttons, I'll put them in your order. If I don't, I'll just put an extra one in your order. See, y'all, that's what happens when you are a member of the SEAL Squad. You get special treatment. I feel like Laurel's been on the SEAL Squad for like years. Am I making that up? I don't really understand time anymore, so... No, I was not wearing that sweatshirt, but I love that that's a shirt somebody was wearing. Right, Laurel? Okay, I was like, I feel like you've been in the mix with me for a time. Thanks, that fool. 3 more to go. 3 more to go. Some of y'all been riding with me. Jordy, what kind of... You just let that man walk up to the door. I'm not going to contact you. You late now? Slipping. Don't get all extra. Don't try and be all extra now. Don't try and be all extra now. He's trying to put a little stank on it. He even put a little grrr. Come here. Come here. Oh, now you want to come and be by my feet? You funny. You funny. Because I heard something beeping. And I was like, what the hell is that? And then I look out and the delivery man is walking away. He definitely was like, oh, my bad. Like, I'm going to need you to be more on top of your G, yo. I need you to be on top of your G the way you are with people who literally are just going into their house next door. Well, Spirit of the Lion, thank you for supporting my little shop. Thank you, Eileen and Alvin and Malika and Trisha and Ethos for supporting my little shop, Amandaland Exports. Ooh, it's Natasha to you. You remember when I got Jordy? Well, I didn't get him from a shelter. I got him from a rescue. But baby, your girl was concerned if I could handle it. I almost had to give him back. I was like, y'all, I can't handle this. I can't handle this. And y'all was like, no, stick with it. It's worth it. It's worth it. And I was like, it's too much. These books are What Would the Ancestor, are How Black Am I Gonna Have to Get? That's my Black History Month drop for you guys this month on Amandaland Exports. In 2 weeks, we will also have the next drop, which is the Small Doses shirts. And I did Small Doses shirts and something else. I can't remember. But the Small Doses joints are in honor of the Small Doses began in February of 2018. And so since Small Doses ended last year, I figured I would honor it on its anniversary. And then we're also going to have a Views from Amandaland drop coming for the 100th episode of Views from Amandaland. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also going to be putting prints of my art for sale on my site. The thing that's just been holding me back is that I have to design a whole new site. So that's really the thing. I have to design an entirely new site. And it's going to take me time to do that. So I ended Small Doses because it was too expensive. And also, I had just reached a time where I felt like I had done what I needed to do. You know, I did Small Doses for 8 years. And it served its purpose and its goal. And there's new conversations I want to have in new contexts. And so, it was time. Once I realized that Views for Amandaland could, live as its own entity, its own space of teaching, of learning, of growing, etc., it was like, okay, this is the perfect transition space. So join me every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, on Views for Amandaland. We'll be there tomorrow. Our guests are the Seales Family Farm, no relation. They are farmers out in Georgia, I believe, and they do a barter with families and with parents to teach homeschool to kids on their farm. And they focus on the importance of kids being in a natural environment, the importance of kids having, different teaching styles, etc. And, the necessity of kids being taught outside of the traditional curriculums that are being enforced by this establishment, imperialist, colonialist. Sorry, one second. Institution. So don't ask me no questions about Nicki Minaj. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I don't care about Nicki Minaj. What actions would I suggest she take? Shut the fuck up. Got you, Mo. Mo, I'll send you a code so you can choose your size. And order it. I'll just send you a code for you. Stop saying things like people need therapy. People need values. Everybody needs therapy. Did y'all hear me? Everybody needs therapy. So it can't be used as like an excuse for why people are behaving in harmful ways. Everybody needs therapy. You can't find my dates. Oh, I already went to Seattle, baby love. I don't have any dates right now outside of next week. Next week I'll be in Tougaloo, Mississippi. And I will be in Birmingham, Alabama. You know what a lot of people need? They need to be out of the United States. They need to be in spaces and places where they actually have to show up for other people. Like someone like Nicki Minaj or Lizzo, these people, they need to be in the Congo. They need to be in full spaces of support. Being led and managed by people who are vetted, altruistic warriors. So that when they start doing their shit that they always do as narcissists, they're checked. Ah! This ain't about you. Go get some gauze. I just refuse to believe that the human brain cannot become unnarcissistic. I believe that you can't do that in a environment of narcissism. This is an environment of narcissism. This whole nation is literally built in a culture of narcissism. So how would you? You know, gauze is named after Ressa. Did you know that? Bye, oh, Coco. I'm on my last book, y'all. Y'all really helped me today with the body doubling. Woo, child. Right, Mrs. Sherry? Yeah, gauze is literally named after Ressa. Full speed. Et voila! This is the last one. I have done it. Thank you to everybody who placed an order of How Black Am I Gonna Have to Get. Thank you for supporting my work. Thank you for supporting my voice. Thank you for supporting yourselves. Thank you for supporting all independent artists and creatives. Thank you for supporting my little shop. Have a good night. I'm going to have a full moon bath and base my intentions on the full moon in Leo and what that means. Bye, guys.